when she gave birth to the adoptee, to the baby. That would be before adoption, and that's. I'm just surprised they didn't offer you that. I can send you that form as well. If you fill out that form, you don't have to, because it'll say adopted parent, what you would just put your current parent down. And then it'll say birth parent if known. Well, you just leave that blank because you don't even know if you're adopted. They will do it. They will then, and that does cost $40. And it wouldn't make a difference if you were adopted or not. Anybody requesting a birth certificate or a death certificate or anything like that costs $40.
Yeah,
so when you fill out the form, you mail it in to the Minnesota Department of Health vital records, along with a $40 payment, which can be a personal check, a cashier check, a money order, whatever. And then mail it into them. And then if they'll send you, which is considered your original birth certificate.
Oh.
Now, you said there's a name change. So a lot of times when there's an adoption, the adopted parents change the name. If you were not adopted, they would send you a regular birth certificate, like with your name on it. You're right, that you've known all these years, right? So either way, the $40 as well.
I got that. I got that birth certificate, the one that you're talking about. I just got it, but when I got these court documents back with my parents having a dissolution without child, they were divorced without that. But then why are they on my birth certificate? So I just got my birth certificate and it has them both on it, but I have court documents. I'm like, okay, well, somebody's lying somewhere, so I must either be adopted, or why would they tell the courts they didn't have a kid?
Yeah. So you think that your current parents are your adopted parents, or it could be a step parent adoption. You never know.
Somebody's not legitimate here.
So what I will do is I will send that out to you. I'll send them both. You already got the one that they gave you at Department of Health, right? So.
Yep, I already got the certificate.
I'll send out the search one so you can get that taken care of.
Okay.
That way you'll know for sure.
Yes, please. Thank you. I'm so glad I called you. Yeah. The other guy, he just wanted to get me off the phone.
Everybody calls me. If they don't know where to send you, they send you to me. It's just the way it is. What are they going to do when I retire, right?
They're going to fall apart? They're going to fall apart?
I get the weirdest calls. I mean, yours isn't weird. I get calls like yours a lot. But I've had calls where people are complaining that their favorite bar is watering down their drinks, or their childcare, or their childcare provider, took off a day and charged for taking care of the kids. I'm going, that has nothing to do with adoption.
Right? What the?
Damn. But let me tell you, I know where to send those calls because I've been with the state for 27 years. And it's, and I worked for a lot of these places. So I know that the one about the bar goes to licensing.
Oh my God. You've deciphered all the codes.
I do. I know. I've been here a long time. So yeah, I get some of the strangest calls. I get calls where the adopted parents are angry at the child because she's 15 years old and she decided she wanted to sneak out at night, and she's using us as a weapon. Which, I mean, the weapon is she's saying, "Come and get her."
Oh shit!
We don't want her no more because she's not listening to our rules. Come and get her, and I said, "Say it one more time, and we will." And then all of a sudden they hang up on me. But
wow.
They
I just got whoopings.
When they say that, they say, come and get the child. We don't want it no more. I could have CPS in front of their door within 5 minutes. And they would come and take the child, put her in foster care, and then the adopted parents would have to pay for it. think before you make those kind of decisions. Because
Right.
that's your child, even though you adopt her. You says on the decree that from this date forward, from the signing of the judge, this date forward, this child is yours as if you gave birth to him. And, you know, you're financially responsible until they turn 18. You know?
And sometimes I be wondering that's what happened with me. I think my dad met my mom when she was pregnant already. And you know what I mean? And they just never said nothing. But when people start messing around with my name and stealing my inheritances and stuff, and now I got to go through all of this to prove who I am, but I got to first find out who I am because it's not who I thought I was, you know. And now it's become one bigger mess, and one's dead, so she doesn't have to. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. She doesn't get to go through none of that.
Oh boy! So are your parents? Your parents, are they both alive?
No, my mom is dead, and my dad moved overseas, and he's just done. He cut everybody off. He doesn't talk to me, and sometimes I wonder if he left because he figured out I was finding out stuff because I kept asking him questions, and he would play the narcissist role with me.
You know, there's also a few scenarios that could be a reason why he's acting like he is, because maybe he thought you were his, and found out that they're not.
Oh my God! And then I explain why he's always hated me.
Or they got married, but didn't tell him it wasn't his. You know.
There you go.
You'd be surprised the stuff that I hear. You know, but there's scenarios out there. You know.
Have you heard of one where they steal the kids' inheritances? I think whoever my real dad was, he's the one that left me. Like somebody just gave me a hint, and that's what led me on this trail. And then I started finding stuff, so I'm like, okay, it must be true. Like my real dad left me some stuff, but they didn't give it to me; they kept it. But I wouldn't know because I've never known who my real dad is. Ain't this crazy?
It would be really hard. It would be really hard. And I really, I'm sorry you have to go through it all. But, I don't know how old you are.
Old.
I'm assuming you're over the age of 19.
Most definitely.
I have no idea. You sound like you're 12. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, thank you. I'm 45.
I tell everybody I'm 34, and they look at me and say, how can you have a 43-year-old son?
Oh. I age gracefully.
I adopted him when he was 41.
There you go. Oh my God.
Prove me wrong. Go ahead. Prove me wrong. Yeah. So, there's all kinds of scenarios out there, but doing a search is your best bet, because if there is any records of an adoption for you, we will find it.
Okay.
And if there's not, then you know you were not adopted, and you would know that as well. So either way, you're going to find out one way or another. It might take a little while because we have to do a backward search, which means you don't know a birth mother, or you're just putting down, your current parents. And they'll look that up first, and then they'll go backwards to see if there's any records prior, to their names, associated with their names. So
we're gonna find something.
But it might take a little while, but we'll get it done, and you'll get your answers. If I could, I'd bring it up on my computer, but I can't because we don't hold the records anymore.
Uh-oh.
When I first started with the state in the adoptions unit, let me tell you, we used to have what's called retrievers. I don't know if you know what those are.
No.
Those are paper files that it's like a file system that's in the walls of the building, and you hit, no matter what floor you're on, you hit a button, and you'll hear the machine making the sound, and then and you stop it at whatever number you're looking. Like if the file number was 4589, you stop it within that section, and then you look for the record, the paper file. And,
sounds
I
slick.
remember those days. They were not fun.
No.
And now it's all online, so we got it all finally into the computer system. But we don't hold the paper records. Okay. The agency or county that handles the adoptions hold the records. So if it was like Lutheran Social Services Adoption Agency, they hold the records, whatever adoptions they handle. Actually, there's such a large agency that because Catholic Charities used to do adoptions, and when they stopped doing adoptions, they stopped holding records, and Lutheran Social Services took over their records. There's a lot of small ones too, like Love Basket and stuff like that. So we find out where the records are at if there was an adoption done. So then we would give you the name, phone number, and everything. So you have an avenue. And pray that Lutheran Social Services does not have your records. Pray.
Oh my God! You said pray.
Because they charge big bucks. I'm talking like $1,100 just to get
Jesus
a copy
Christ.
of your records. And and someone told me that the other day, and I went, what? I said, 2
what
years
the
ago it was
hell?
only $300 to $500. What the hell? Talk about inflation. I said, that's ridiculous.
Why is it so
we
expensive?
Do the search, we tell them where in the system it is. They don't have to do nothing but get in their computer and pull it up. Why so much? It doesn't cost that much to make copies.
That's crazy. So you're holding people for ransom.
The Lutheran Social Services and any of the adoption agencies are not state. They're not state agencies. They are a private business.
Wow.
So it's just like a restaurant. They can charge however much they want for that steak dinner. We can't control any of that. We just have control of what they have. So we know what they have because we can access their files. I'm not sure they like that much, but we do.
Oh, I like you. You just know you go get what you want. I like that. Okay. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Well, but you will definitely get your answer one way or another. If your name was changed, like I said, it could have been a step-parent adoption. If a step-parent adoption it just means that your mother gave birth to you and your dad, as you know him to be, married her after you were born. And when he did a step-parent, so that means he became your adopted father, we would still have records. And then, yes, they would change your name if they wanted to, because they would want to change it to his last name. So,
and I think that's how they took what my dad left me. When they changed my name, they used my name still to get the house he left me, but I'm under a whole new name, though. I'm a new person now. You see that? You see what I'm trying to uncover here? They've done some really terrible things in the background to me, and it's coming way late in the game, but now it's like an itch in the back of my brain. I have to find out who I am, and all this other stuff comes out with it.
Oh, yeah. It happens to a lot of people. Let me tell you, a lot of families don't tell the adopted children that they're adopted, and some go through life without ever knowing.
Wow.
But then there's some that are like you, where they all of a sudden they find a document and they go, huh?
Yes.
That's my birth date, because that does not change. The birth date does not change. You go, oh, that's my birth date. Well, who the heck is John Smith?
You feel me? Yes. And now everybody's running, ducking for cover. And
a lot of them go under that. They go check with the DNA place. I don't know what it's called. You
Yep.
know, they submit their DNA and then they find out that way, hey, I got a half brother out there I didn't even know, you know, because of my DNA and his match.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
I had a case just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Same kind of situation you're in. But they just called to tell me because I, you know, handled with the search and everything. And prior to that, and they called me back and she said that she found out she had a twin.
Wow. What do you mean? She found out she had a twin? They were separated?
But they were separated, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that
my
hurts.
husband's family. My husband found out he had an older sister they didn't know about. That their mother gave birth to a child in New York. And that child, of course, is in her 60s now. No, she's actually in her 70s. And she found out that she was adopted and got a private investigator and tracked down my husband's family, you know, and found out that a year before the oldest was born, he gave birth to this daughter in New York. And my husband used to say his mom was a shore whore.
Wow.
That she would meet the ships as the sailors came in to dock. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, looking for her husband. Yeah, you bet. And she ended up getting pregnant with the one, and he said, "No way, Jose." You know?
Man.
And then after she gave birth to the baby, gave it up for adoption, she met my husband's dad. He didn't know about the child, you know, but he knew that he was, you know, always on the shore looking and meeting guys. And so when they got married, he moved over to Minnesota, up in Itasca, up on a farm. You're not going to be around no shores no more.
All right, it gets you far away from water as possible.
On a farm in northern Minnesota. Yeah, you know.
Oh man, smart move.
They ended up with 9 kids, and then all of a sudden, I said, he wanted to make sure she wasn't going.
Right. Oh my God. Damn.
Oh yeah. And my husband said, you know, we don't believe it, you know. But they decided to meet her anyway. So we went and met her. You know, the whole family went and met her.
Yeah.
And I looked at my husband. I said, "You can't deny her." And he says, "Why not?" I said, "Because she looks exactly like your mom."
Right. Wow.
She could be your mom's twin. She said, you know, so she looks just like your mother, my mother-in-law. I said, "Yeah, you know, can't deny her, you know." And he said, "Yeah, well, we have to make sure." I said, "Yeah." I says, my mother-in-law's name was Althea Ione Armstrong, right?
Uh-huh.
His sister, the one that she put up for adoption, if she put down that the baby's last name was Ione. I says, "How many Iones do you know?" You know, that was like a little nugget of information to get her start searching.
Right.
You know, so yeah, led right to her. You know, but my mother-in-law was gone by that time because she signed that form said no contact. So, you know, so they had to wait until she passed before she could finish to contact anybody. But yes, weirdest things can happen.
Yeah,
let me tell you, if you ever have any issues with a bar that's waters down the drinks, call licensing. You know, because
okay, I'm gonna keep that one in mind. That sounds like CIA code or something. Oh, I want to say, and you know what? The crazy part when I think about it more, if I found court proceedings where they got a divorce without any children, and I got a little brother and a little sister, so that means that none of us are you know, how can that be?
Who's the daddies, right? Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
They don't have no children together. That's what it
None.
is.
I'm starting to think that that's what it was, because I have a half brother, and it's like, okay, that must have been just his kid. And then there's me and my little brother and sister, and we all thought we were one big. No, no, no. We're all from somewhere else.
There you go. Yeah, you got some questions and you need some answers. That's for sure. But at least you know where to call regarding the bars, and you don't have to worry about that.
Oh my God! I skipped the bar. I go right to the liquor store. Do you know much about the DNA while I have you on the phone, if you don't mind? Because I did think about that, and I'm like, okay, if I got my DNA test, a court verified DNA test, and that's 150. So I kind of been stalling on it, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what would that really do? Is it only gonna just see if they're my parents? And it's like, nope, they're not your parents. Well, at least now you have your answer. It's like, no, now I got way more. You know.
Yeah, because now you want to know. Yeah, but see, the thing is the Department of Health Vital Records sent you the birth certificate they had on file for you. So
Yep.
if you were adopted, you would have two birth certificates. One at the time of your birth and one for after the adoption.
Okay, so they would have gave me that day then.
Right, they should have given you what they had. Right, exactly.
So
but the one you have has your current name on it?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's different from my Social Security. My birth certificate says Richard Young, just plain Richard D. Young. And then on my Social Security, it says Richard Young III. So I've always wondered about that. How come my Social Security doesn't match up with my birth certificate? And I do credit repair. So
now the dad that you know, what is his name?
His name is supposed to be Richard D. Young Jr.
Okay, so you're his child.
I'm supposed to be Richard Young III.
Yeah. I bet you was a step parent adoption, and or you were born. She was, like you said, she was probably pregnant when they got married, and he's not your biological father, but it's probably the only name that, because she, when she gave birth, they were married. You know.
Dang.
But you got a different name on the birth certificate than the one you have now. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, it's the name I've always known. It's just the variations that throw me off. You know, like the third is on my social, but not on my birth certificate. And what made me even think about the name change was me finding court documents with my name on it, that my birth date, my name, everything, and I'm still trying to get information on it. But who changed my name? I never put in for those name change things. So I'm curious on how did that happen and what was the outcome, because it doesn't say the outcome when I look it up on the Minnesota court dockets. So that's what sparked that one. And it's the Minnesota court docs where I found their divorce record, where they said they got a divorce without children. I was like, well, that's odd. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying here. And I bet you as soon as I figure out the lie, it's going to unlock the door to something else. Every time I figure out something else, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but your best bet is to do the search. We'll be able to tell you if you were adopted or not. So
okay.
That'll answer that question. So that'll mean, if you were not adopted, that means your dad that you know is your dad.
Maybe my mom's not my mom.
that could be. That could be. You might not be hers, but you might be his.
And even when I look them up, like on like Ancestry.com and all of those family generational places, I never find myself or my little brother as her children. It's only my sister that everybody recognizes as her child, and it's like, wow, it's just, there's something there, and I can't, I'm too old to care about anything else other than finding myself. I'm not going to no club, so this is what I'm doing.
Oh boy. I take it you're over 30, right?
45.
Huh?
45.
Oh, you're a youngin'.
And see, I can handle it, huh? Keep on fighting, figure it out.
You're a youngin'. But I'm going to tell you something. It's good that you're searching, because I don't know if you have children of your own right now.
Yeah.
But if you don't know and they start having health issues, you're going to want to know where that came from. And that usually comes from one of the parents of your, one of your birth parents. And so, yeah, if you find out and get the stuff now, it's going to open up the answers for your children, because let me tell you, when they turn 19, if you and you pass away, they can search. They can do the search and find stuff out, and get your records and all that stuff. So, but they have to wait till you're dead before they can do it, because they got to get your, because they got to have your permission if you're still alive,
Oh, well, there's some more laws that are broken. People have been getting permission to get all my stuff in a few different places, and I can't figure out why, and I don't know what to do about it. They got medical records and everything ordered from me, and I get the verification because I got a lock on my credit, on my social security number, so I get the notifications, but I don't know what to do.
Someone's using maybe your identity was stolen.
Oh, most definitely. I'm filing tax fraud now. Somebody stole my stuff. They got tax refunds in my names and got loans. It's like, oh, I'm going through a nightmare. It's just open. But it started with finding out that my parents might not really be my parents. And I got to checking my social and my taxes. And then in my taxes, I found that I had been a victim of tax fraud. For a while, I didn't even work. I just went to school. So I'm like, where are these refunds? I didn't do these. So it just goes on and on. It just opens up more doors.
Let me tell you, you need some answers. That's for darn sure. So we'll help you get them.
Okay.
So don't worry about that.
Okay,
we'll
thank
get that for you. At least we'll be able to answer some of your stuff. I'm typing your email in. That's what you're hearing.
Okay. It is going to be deep. Have you heard about the babies that like accidentally get swapped? Just like I was going through this whole process, and I'm looking up, about kids in Minnesota and blah 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 blah, and I found out there was like an acceptable rate of 7% of babies being swapped at birth between the 70s and the 80s, and it's like public information.
In the hospital, you
mean? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean 7% is acceptable?
It can happen. I'll tell you, it almost happened with me when I gave birth to my daughter, my firstborn. Okay, my husband is Native American.
Okay.
Half Native American, or was, I should say. When I I've been married twice and widowed twice.
Oh wow, sorry.
I just keep telling them I loved them to death. What can I say? But the thing is at that when she was born, because she was, she's got the complexion of a Native American. I'm super light skin, and my husband was olive color, and I was in the hospital, just gave birth, and my husband went up to the nursery and saw baby girl Nash, which was on the bassinet thing, right? And he was standing next to some big black man and saying, "Isn't she the most beautiful thing?" And he goes, "Yep, she is."
That's right.
And my husband looks at me and he goes, "Well, that's my baby." And he goes, "Nope, that's my baby." And I'm going, and they're thinking, how can that be your baby? That's my baby. Born the same day. My name is Julie. The mother of the other one was Janet. They put us in the same room, so every time the babies came in, we had to double check the wristbands to make sure they gave me the right kid.
Oh, wow. Dude, they need wristbands, put some on the ankles and everything. Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Yeah. They had to, and what's really weird is we both named our daughters Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
So Jennifer Lynn. So there's two Jennifer Lynn Nashes out there, and what really threw me off is that I was downtown St. Paul one day, and it was during the day. It was, and I saw my daughter, and I'm going, "Why aren't you in school?" And she looks at me like, "You're a crazy woman." Here was the other Jennifer Lynn Nash.
You found the other one.
I went, "Oh my God," yeah. I said, and then for something, they were both at a clinic one time, my daughter and the other one, and they weren't sitting by each other or anything, but they look alike, and the nurses said, Jennifer Nash, and they both stood up. I'm going, "Oh my God," they had their medical records all mixed up.
Wow.
Some of the stuff was one for one, and one of the stuff was for the other, and they were all combined in, and it was a nightmare.
Wow.
And then my daughter said, then my daughter dyed her hair blonde, right? Oh, guess who did the same thing? Yeah, mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
oh my God, they're twins. Jeez.
And I know I didn't have two, So,
they're born at the same time. That's that same energy. They both got the same energy. That's crazy. Oh.
It's really weird, and I met the other one's dad, a really nice guy, but I mean, he stood like 6'4". He looked like a dang bouncer. And I said, "Nope, I would have known if he was your daddy. Your daddy is Indian. Your daddy's Indian. He's not a black man, And it was just hilarious. It was just hilarious,
That's crazy. Your last name is Nash?
Nash.
Nash. My mom's.
Now it's Nash. It used to be when I was married to my first husband.
Oh, my mom's maiden name is Nash. I found that out when she died, and it was on her death certificate. I never knew it. It's crazy.
Okay, which means that we have a 50-50 chance of my kids being related to you.
Uh-oh. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm from Minnesota.
Well, there's two sides of the Nash family. One of them was related to the football coach, the well-known football coach for the Minnesota University of Minnesota, and then the other one was a well-known radio announcer. Those two are not related, but they're both named Nash. So yeah, and I used to work with another Julie Nash, who was, and we weren't related. We were each one of us was from one different. I was married to that section, and she was born into it. So, but yeah, so never know. You and my kids might be related.
I wouldn't doubt it. I've been witnessing stranger things.
Well, let's see. You're in your 40s, and my son's in his 40s. My daughter's 58, 48, 50. How old is my daughter? She's 175. I keep saying I'm 34, so I get confused.
As long as you remember that one, that's all.
I remember that. Yeah, I'll be 34 until I die.
There you
And
go.
beyond. You know? So,
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, how old is she? This year's next, so she must be 49.
Oh, yeah, up there with me.
In 25, she'll be 50. Yep, so next year she'll be 50. So she's 48, gonna be 49. My kids are 5 years apart.
All my siblings are 5 years apart. We got a conspiracy going on. Wow, okay.
Yeah, my kids are 5 years apart.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Oh.
Yeah, I hope it works.
Yeah. Okay, now you got my direct phone number, the 4682 number, right?
Yep. Well, let me make sure. I don't want to just. Oh, I hate this phone. Recent calls. I'm not too savvy with BAM.
Well, if you got a pen, I'll just give it to you.
5970. That's the one I have.
Oh, I know which one you called. You called the main number. My direct phone number, which I'm really surprised they didn't give you, because everybody gives my direct phone number out, is 651.
Okay. Okay, 651.
651 431 4682.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't receive the email within the next 5 minutes, you can call me back and say, where the dickens did it go?
Okay. Thank you.
What can I say? I'm a people person. I'm working from home, so every time my phone rings, my brain goes, it's a people. It gets all excited. I get to talk.
I'm glad you are. I hate people. I'm trying to stay awake. Man.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I'm doing so well today.
No. It's not doing too good where I'm at either. It's rainy. So there's a whole bunch of sad people today.
It's just gloomy here. I don't know where you're at, so I'm in St. Paul.
No, I'm in Washington. I ran from St. Paul a couple years ago. I've been out here since. So,
I'm born and raised here. And I hate the winter. I really hate the winter. But,
get ready.
okay. No, I know. Last winter was wonderful. It was great. We didn't have hardly any snow. We didn't have we had like maybe 3 days in January where it was below zero.
Yeah.
No, that was great. We had people walking around with shorts. I'm not saying that, but that's normal for Minnesota people, because when it gets above 20 degrees, they start wearing shorts. I don't understand it, but
hey, that's warm.
yeah, for what we usually have, in the winter time.
Yeah.
I'm not real. My kids, they want to turn on the air all the time in the summertime when it's like 80 degrees. I said, are you nuts? Leave it off. I can't afford it unless you're going to pay for it,
Yeah, it'll eat up your electric bill.
I love that heat. I love the heat, I'm such a freeze baby that when it's warm, it feels good to me. But when,
Yeah, that unbearable heat. Nobody likes that.
we get you live here.
Yeah.
We get the 90 to 100 degree weather in the summer with humidity. It's the humidity that kills you.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I figure A fan works really good. I'll put the air on if it's 100 degrees out, because it gets a little uncomfortable. But I put it like at 76. I'm not going to sit there and have it at 65 degrees in my house.
Everybody that don't pay the bills is gonna turn it down to 65.
I keep it right. Well, I'll have it at like 75 degrees. And to me, once you take the humidity out, it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I sent it, so it should be showing up anytime now.
Okay.
And my information is on there. So I think it's on there. Hey, what can I say? Go under sent items. Make sure I put my name on there. That's the thing. Let's see there. Yep, I did. Geez, I'm good.
I bet you're better at it than me. I hate emails. I don't never catch them on time. I'm late for everything, and it comes right to your phone.
I'm always late too. I'm a first class procrastinator. What can I say?
Hey, it'll be there when you get there.
Well, it's like if I have an appointment that I got to be there at 1 o'clock. I don't have a car, so I have to take the bus. And it takes an hour to get to an appointment because I got to transfer downtown. And I wait until the last minute, and then I rush out of here and pray to God that I catch the bus before it goes by.